After narrowly missing out on top 4 to their North London rivals Tottenham Hotspur last season, Arsenal will be making some moves this transfer window in order to try and secure a Champions League spot this upcoming season, which will be their 6th season without Champions League football. So let's talk about their window so far and why I think things are looking promising for Arsenal next season. First off, let's talk about Gabriel Jesus, who was recently confirmed to be an Arsenal player and honestly will probably prove to be Arsenal's most important signing this window. Still only 25 years old, Jesus has won the Premier League 4 times since he joined Manchester City from Palmeiras in 2017 and currently has a 0.19 non-penalty goal plus assist per 90 across all of his Premier League seasons, statistically making him one of the most prolific attackers in Premier League history, only behind Thierry Henry and Sergio Aguero, who are at 0.91. Having a prolific striker is something Arsenal have been crying out for these past couple seasons, with Lacazette and Aubameyang not performing up to standard during their final couple years at the club, with Lacazette in particular only getting 2 non-penalty goals during the previous Premier League campaign. So being able to replace him with the likes of Gabriel Jesus will certainly elevate this Arsenal squad to a higher level, and it should be fairly easy for Jesus to settle into this Arsenal team as well, seeing as he worked with Mikel Arteta back when Arteta was assistant manager at City, and will have some fellow Brazilians named Gabriel at the club as well. In addition to this, Jesus has proven himself to be a big game player, scoring a last-minute goal to help City become the first ever Centurions in the Premier League, and has put in some top performances over the years, such as his game against Real Madrid in a Champions League round of 16 in 2020, where he got a goal and ended up getting Ramos a red card during the first leg. When you take all of this into account, it's hard to imagine a situation where Jesus doesn't improve this Arsenal squad, and with the other signings Arsenal will be making, they seem to have a strong chance at getting top 4. For example, Fabio Vieira, the 22-year-old Portuguese midfielder who Arsenal signed from Porto, seems to be very promising. Last season, the 22-year-old managed to get 7 goals and 16 assists across all competitions for title-winning FC Porto, and alongside Vitina is considered by many to be one of the most promising youngsters coming out of Porto's youth system. Vieira was also part of the Portugal under-21 side that reached the 2021 Euros final, and whilst Portugal didn't go on to win the tournament, Vieira ended up winning Player of the Tournament, joining the likes of Thiago Alcantara, Andrea Pirlo, Luis Figo, and many other great players who have won the awards. It's also worth pointing out that teams will be able to substitute 5 players in the Premier League starting from next season, so it's vital that Arsenal bring in players such as Fabio Vieira to act as depth options on the bench. And like I mentioned earlier, Fabio Vieira is only 22 years old, so by signing him, Arsenal are continuing their theme of signing young, promising players, making their squad, which was already the youngest squad in the Premier League last season, even younger, which should pay off in the long term as these players grow and develop together. The third signing Arsenal have made so far is the 28-year-old goalkeeper Matt Turner, who whilst may not be as attractive of a name as some of the other players Arsenal have signed and are linked with, I think he'll still prove to be a solid signing for Arsenal. With Leno likely leaving Arsenal after losing his spot to Ramsdale and having just 1 year left on his contract, Arsenal need a decent backup keeper, and Matt Turner seems to fit the bill, with him playing for the US national team 18 times since he made his international debut in January 2021, and played a crucial role in the USA winning the 2021 CONCACAF Gold Cup and securing qualification to the 2022 World Cup. Turner was also selected to play for the MLS in the 2021 MLS All-Stars game, where he ended up being named the MVP for that match after saving 2 penalties. With a CV like this, Turner certainly appears to be an upgrade on the likes of Ronaldsson and should do well in that backup keeper role. Arsenal have also signed 19-year-old Brazilian winger Marquinhos from Sao Paulo this window, and whilst I don't know too much about him, the last time Arsenal signed a teenage Brazilian winger, it turned out pretty well. Also, from what I've heard, this Marquinhos signing was partly done to strengthen Arsenal's relations with Sao Paulo, so they'll be able to get first dibs at any of their players in the future, which if true, seems like a pretty smart move by Arsenal. Now aside from those 4 players, Arsenal haven't signed anybody else this window, but have been strongly linked to a few players. One of these was Rafinha, who honestly would have been a great signing for Arsenal, but unfortunately for Arsenal, Chelsea put in a bid for him which Leeds accepted. And considering the fact that Chelsea currently have Champions League football and Arsenal don't, it seems more likely that Rafinha will be headed to West London rather than North London. Now although Arsenal have probably missed out on this deal, the fact that they were bidding for a winger like Rafinha is a good sign, because Arsenal cannot afford to let Bukayo Saka burn out. He's only 20 years old and yet played every single game possible for Arsenal last season except 2 Carabao Cup games where he was on the bench, and if this continues, it could be detrimental to Saka and therefore Arsenal in the long term, so it's important Arsenal bring in a high quality winger to not only rotate with Saka, but be good enough to be a main starter. And whilst Rafinha was likely seen as the most suitable option in the market from Arsenal's point of view, considering the fact that they bidded for him, they surely have other alternatives lined up, especially with the fact that there was always interest in Rafinha from Barcelona, so they knew it was never going to be a guaranteed signing. Another player Arsenal is strongly linked to is Lisandro Martinez of Ajax, who Arsenal have submitted multiple bids for. In my opinion, Martinez would be a top signing for Arsenal, as he's versatile as shown through him being able to play left back and centre back to a high standard, which is very important for Arsenal, who lack depth in these positions. As we saw last season, Arsenal cannot rely on Tierney to stay fit all season, and currently Nuno Tavares doesn't seem ready for the Premier League. And if Arsenal do sign Martinez, it's not as if his only role will be as a backup. He's good enough to cement himself a spot in the starting 11 as well. Now there are concerns from some people about his height, as Martinez Martinez is only 5'9", but personally I don't think that would be a major issue. When it comes to aerial duels, Martinez has great stats. The only issue surrounding this transfer is that Manchester United are reportedly interested in signing Martinez as well, which could pose a problem considering Erik ten Hag is Manchester United's new manager and managed Martinez back at Ajax, with Martinez playing an important role in Ajax's title winning side these past couple seasons, which could potentially lure Martinez into signing for United rather than Arsenal due to his connection with ten Hag. But I guess we'll just have to see how things pan out with the transfer. Now the last player I would say Arsenal have been strongly linked to is Youri Tielemans, who would definitely help out in that Arsenal midfield. He's a great passer of the ball and overall has good technical ability. He also has an eye for goal too, scoring 6 goals in the Premier League last season and is pretty good when it comes to long shots, with his goal which won Leicester the FA Cup against Chelsea in 2021 being a prime example of that. With Arsenal lacking goals from midfield these past couple seasons, it's important that they bring an experienced midfielder like Tielemans who is able to bring some goals to the team. There is a slight downside to Tielemans however, and that's that his athleticism doesn't appear to be the greatest.
Don't kill me. Look at Tielemans. Look at Tielemans. Oh my god, look at him.
However, that hopefully shouldn't be too big of a problem if Arsenal do go ahead and sign him. That's pretty much it at the moment as far as incomings go, with Arsenal being linked to a few other players, but none of them as heavily as the players I've mentioned so far. But that's not the end of Arsenal transfer window at this point in time. Not too long ago, Arsenal tied down 23-year-old tail-end graduate Eddie Nketiah on a new 5-year deal, with the player originally being set to be a free agent by the end of June. This decision was met with some skepticism, which I guess is understandable considering Nketiah hasn't really played too much for Arsenal in the past few seasons, but when he was given the chance to play and prove himself towards the end of last season, I think he did just that, with him starting Arsenal's final 8 games of the season and scoring 5 goals in the process, including a brace away at Stamford Bridge. He's also the all-time top scorer for the England under-21 national team, scoring 16 goals in 17 appearances, so to be honest, I think it's a good bit of business by Arsenal to extend Nketiah's contract at the club. Arsenal also have the likes of Saliba returning to the club this window after going out on loan to Marseille last season, and although Saliba was signed 3 years ago, he's basically a brand new signing, seeing as he's never played for the Arsenal senior side and has only made a few appearances for the Arsenal under-23s. It's been said that Arsenal aren't considering selling Saliba this window unless a big offer comes in, with rumours emerging that Arsenal are looking to extend Saliba's contract, which I think is a good move by Arsenal. Saliba won League One Young Player of the Season last season and will be a great asset to have in defence. But yeah, I think I've covered everything there is to cover about Arsenal's transfer window so far, and as it stands, I think Arsenal have a pretty solid chance at getting top 4 next season as long as they're able to bring in some more of the players they've been linked with. Now of course, the transfer window doesn't close until the 1st of September, so things could change, especially with Arsenal's main top 4 competitors Spurs strengthening their side as well, with them signing the likes of Ivan Perisic, who was part of Conte's title-winning Inter Milan side 2 seasons ago, as well as Basuma, who they got for a very good price of just £25 million considering his quality. Anyway, if you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave it a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and whilst you're at it, comment down below your opinions on Arsenal's transfer window so far. With that being said, have a good one guys, see ya.